Welcome back to my channel. We have rather a very interesting subject for discussion today, which is fate, otherwise known as destiny, and the relevant pseudoscience called astrology. So in my last video, I explained about Ouroboros, or the vicious cycle of life and death created by a guy called Grim Reaper. You can call him Grim Reaper, Cronus, Yalbelt, Yankee, or whoever. He created this snake in the shape of eight with two coils. So we all know that Yalbel created few constructs just meant for the real included inside the coils of this snake. Meaning, those three constructs are peculiar to the people living, the souls living inside this, the matrix, so-called Saturn matrix. Those three constructs are basically one. First one is death. Death applies only to this region included inside the coils of the snake. Here in heaven, there is no death. Souls are eternal. They don't die. Second concept, very much relevant concept, is called time. In heaven, the time is flowing like a two-dimensional, ever-moving forward object. There is no past, there is no future, there is no present. All are together as one. But here, inside this matrix, Saturn matrix, you have time. You have seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, right? That concept, in other terms, this is basically called the horizontal time, because we are moving horizontally. But if you look from here vertically, then for this guy, there is no change here in time. So that is called vertical time. For vertical, those who are in the vertical time, for them there is no concept called time. Everything is same. So anyway, this is what Yalbert constructed. This is his creation. And how he constructed that? According to my theory, we have the following equation. These are numbers associated with the planets. If you want to know how I came up with this, you can refer to any of my previous videos, first of my previous videos, so that you will know why Mercury is associated with 2, and similarly Saturn is associated with 38. So they total up to 100. If you take the numbers, sum up the numbers for Mercury to Saturn, they total up to 100. Similarly, if you take the total of 1 cube, 2 cube, 3 cube, and 4 cube, That is, they represent fire, air, moon, and sun. They total up to 100 again. So, till Saturn, sun, moon, along with Vayu and Agni, that is air and fire, can control the planets, but not beyond. So, if the total of these planets exceeds 100, goes beyond 100, sun will not be able to control totally. Then only Betelgeuse can control till Neptune, as per the following equation. This is another equation, same planets 2 to 38. In addition to these 6 planets, we have included Uranus and Neptune so that they make a total of 216. And how we get 216? We get 216 uh, from the total of 3 cube, 4 cube, and 5 cube. The 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube. Here it is wrongly given as including 1 cube and 2 cube. 1 cube, 2 cube are not necessary to make 216. 3 cube, 4 cube, 5 cube are together make 216. So these 3 entities, moon, sun, and Betelgeuse, can control all these planets starting from Mercury to Neptune. So that is how he constructed this matrix in which these planets are always in motion, and they are what do you call, a stone um, tied to a string. If you what do you call, revolve the string, the stone will not fly away. It will be in its position at that radius, at particular radius, the length of whatever is the length of the string. At the end of the string, it will be revolving at that particular position. So similarly, all these planets are included in this matrix, and they will be moving in their designated orbits. So that is how he made it. And you see how clever this guy. He is the architect of this abyss, basically the 6 cube abyss. 6 cube is nothing but 216 up to the planet Neptune. Starting from Mercury to Neptune, they make 6 cube. Okay, so that abyss he made, and he uses certain terms. What is the ultimate goal of Yaldabaoth? We know the story of a Gnostic cosmos, the Pistis Sophia, and how Sophia gave birth to Yaldabaoth, and a weak moment, and uh, Yaldabaoth had the head of a lion and body of a snake, and so fearing censure from the other aeons, she hid him inside a luminous cloud. So that is this cloud, this abyss that was formed when Yaldabaoth was born. And Yaldabaoth created his own assistants afterwards. So he is basically the architect of this particular matrix. The Saturn matrix he created from scratch. He is the architect of this matrix. That is known as the denoted by the capital letter G. So that is the basic abyss. He is architect of that abyss. And he uses some clever terms here to confuse people. His ultimate aim, yeah, coming back to the aim, his ultimate aim, as I explained in my previous video, was to keep the human souls inside this matrix, come what may, because he whatever the his assistants or his kind of kids he created on his own, those kids need energy to survive, and that energy was supplied by the human soul energy that heaven supplied through sun, moon, and the whatever sources of light and energy we have. Through them there was an agreement between heaven and the Yalbea, that the human souls, whatever soul energy the humans need here, that will be supplied by heaven. So heaven agreed to that, to supply energy to keep the humans alive and evolve. But he conveniently forgot the second condition, that the heaven is supplying energy to the human souls on the condition that that energy will be used to the expedite the evolution of the mankind. But he became selfish, and he has kept the human souls trapped here in this Ouroboros. Whenever one dies, he is somewhere here. This, if this is the sun sphere and this is the Osiris sphere, let us say. So this guy dies, the sun's our realm. Here the soul dies and it comes here, and this will gobble up. This snake will eat the soul again and send it back to this present realm. That is the life cycle of life and death. I discussed this subject many times, so let us not go into details. So he used certain terms to keep the humans confused. So which is true and which is fake or false? One such term was astrology. Astrology uh, is similar to astronomy. Astronomy is a true science. It's the science of planets. Astro means planet, stars, and astronomy means science of stars. This but astrology, astro is star, logi is actually logi means science or logic. So he named this astrology. Logi is science, but this is in fact a pseudo, not even science. It's a tool used to entrap the human souls within this matrix. So, and not only this, he uses confusing terms like in Hindu mythology, the ultimate god, the god who gave Bhagavad Gita, the holy, what do you call, script of Hindus that Hindus follow. He's called Lord Krishna. Krishna. And for Christians, he named him Christ. Very much similar sounding word, Christ, Krishna. So he confuses people so that they believe him and think whatever he's telling is true. And sometimes people get confused between these two terms, and there is a chance that they believe the fake science as the true science. Same is the case here. And there is one more example, like The 14th constellation is called Cetus, and his Osiris brother is Set. So Set is supposed to be the villain of the piece, and as is Black Adam. We have an impending movie called Black Adam to be released somewhere next year, I think. Maybe in 2023 it may be released. So that movie is about the Black Adam. Black Adam is very powerful. He has lot of powers, but he is portrayed as a villain. So similar attempts. This is one such similar attempt in the sense, instead of astronomy, people may think astrology is the true science because it is concerning with planets only. Planets are real, so is this science. People may think. So it tricks you like that with similar sounding words. Let's not deviate. So he created that this 100. So Sun is capable to control till Saturn only, and this Betelgeuse guy can control along with Sun and Moon. He can control till Neptune. All 9 planets. Now, what is astrology? As I told you, these planets will be like in this sphere, they will be somewhere here, one planet here, one planet here, one planet here, the planetary alignment, and they will be moving in their specified orbits, and unless an external force acts on this system or the matrix, or the matrix opens or matrix contracts, the planets will continue to revolve in their fixed orbits. So he has a foolproof, uh, what do you call, matrix, working matrix. So what is astrology? Let us now come to astrology. In India, we have what do you call Kundali? Janma Kundali. Janma Kundali is birth chart. In that, there are many charts in Indian astrology, but as I am not very familiar with other charts, I will explain only the Lagna chart of Indian astrology. Now let us see what are the essential parts. Let me show you the whole thing. This Lagna chart basically has 15 parts called houses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 parts. It is divided into 12 parts called houses. And then each house has some qualities associated with that. Those are called the bhava. So, what is the bhava that is associated with the first house? The first house, the bhava associated with first house is body. That is, your physical body is a bhava associated with first house. Similarly, money, job, family, or these are basically the concepts, bhavas, so qualities rather. So these qualities, money, job, family, are associated with second. Brother, sister, adventures are associated with third. Mother, home, vehicles, property are associated with fifth. Study, child are associated with fifth, rather mother, home, vehicles, property are associated with 4, steady state with 5, enemies, diseases, the D is missing here. The enemies, diseases are associated with 6, husband, wife, friends, partnership are associated with 7, age is associated with 8, luck and religion are associated with 9, work, father, profession are associated with 10, uh, all benefits, whatever benefits in life you get are associated with 11, expenses, foreign are associated with 12. These are the bhavas. Those are called the bhavas. Apart from bhavas, what do we have? Let's see. Oh, sorry. So you already know the bhavas, as it is in fact the same diagram. This is called otherwise known as Lagna chart. There are 9 Maha Dashas and 9 Antardashas for each of them, each of which may in turn have more Antardashas. This one concept we already, in fact, two concepts we already learned about this Indian Hindu astrology. One is there are 12 houses and 12 bhavas associated with houses. 12, not just 12, actually, it is called, the whole thing is called bhava. So, all these contents in this house are called bhava. So, they count as one bhava. So, 12 houses and the 12 houses and 12 bhavas we already are familiar with. But what are 9 Mahadashas and 9 Antardashas? Mahadasha. So every human, this is basically, this is where you are born. This is concerns your body, physical body. So this is kind of your house of your birth. And they go, the other houses continue in the anti-clockwise direction, right? So this is place of your birth. This is the what do you call, first house concerning your birth. So where you are born, where where, when I say where, it should be rather when you are born. How do you know when what celestial objects were present at the time of your birth, at what positions? The position, the celestial objects like the Navagrahas, we have in Indian astrology, these are called, house is the term for house is Gruha, and as opposed to Gruha, we have 12 Gruhas, we have 9 Grahas. Graha is planet. So the known 9 planets, we have 9 planets. Everything, your fate depends on which position these 9 Navagrahas occupied at the time of your birth, and what constellations they were in, and how they are now. If you want to know your fate now, the position of the grahas juxtaposed to some other grahas, aligned with some other grahas, will have impact on your fate. That is the crux of Indian astral. What is the astrology is called Jyotisha Shastra in Hindu terminology. So Jyotisha is astrology, Shastra is science. So the science of astrology. So, what are these? How to know when which graha are Lord, as we call it, the which Lord was present when you were born is what is called the Maha Dasha. So, in which Maha Dasha is during whose term, which Lord's term you were born, decides the is called the Maha Dasha. So, now Janma Nakshatra decides a lot of starting Mahadasha. So here you start. This is where you are born. So this first house is the starting dasha. So that dasha, how do you know Janma Nakshatra? So let us say, for example, I was born in the Shatabisha Nakshatra. Shatabisha, the Lord for Shatabisha Nakshatra is Rahu. It may sound very to be strange coincidence that I call my lectures as Rahu Man Speaks. Without knowing, I had the gut feel that somehow I have something to do with Rahu. But yesterday, when I checked my Kundali, it proved right that the Mahadasha in which I was born was Rahu. So, literally, and in fact, the planet which was present also in this Lagna was also Rahu. So, that's such a strange coincidence. But let us go back to the subject. So, Janma Nakshatra decides starting Mahadasha. So, if I was, for example, I was born in, what is the Janma Nakshatra now? Janma Nakshatra is the nakshatra in which the moon rises. There are 27 nakshatras in Hindu astrology, stars rather. So those 20, of the 27 stars, these 27 are per day. Every day these 27 stars change over 24 hours. For few minutes, let's say 40 minutes, 50 minutes, after an interval of 50 minutes, the star changes. So so that Janma Nakshatra, in which star the moon was ascending, is called the Janma Nakshatra. So that Janma Nakshatra, if you know, then using that Janma Nakshatra, you can know the Lord of that Nakshatra. That Lord is the Mahadasha in which you are born. So how many Mahadashas and what are they? This is called Vimshottari in Sanskrit. Vimshottari in Sanskrit stands for the number 120. Vimshottari is comprised of two words. In fact, it should have a third word which is missing. Generally, that is taken for granted. Vimsha is 20. Uttari means above. So it doesn't quite make sense if you look at just these Vimshottari two words only. Basically, what it means is Vimshottari Shata. Word, the 100 word is missing. Basically, 120 is 20 above 100. So, Vimsha 20, Uttara above 100 is missing. Vimshottara Shata. So, what exactly this Vimshottari Dasha means? Vimshottari Dasha assumes that the maximum duration of life of an individual human being is 120. Right? So it assumes that you live for 120 solar sideral years, which is the aggregate duration of all 9 planetary periods. So what are the planetary periods? Ketu 7 years, last for 7 years. Venus 20 years, Sun 5 years, Moon 10 years, Mars 7 years, Rahu 18 years, Jupiter 16 years, Saturn 19 years, and Mercury 17 years. These are the years for which these Maha Dashas last. So here Rahu is Uranus and Ketu is Neptune. So the year of the Vimshottari Dasha is the astronomical solar year of 365.25 days. 65 1/4 days are the regular year. So these many years, and remember this order. It is important. Now the Mahadasha, 9 Mahadashas and 9 Antardashas. So let us take my example. I was born in the Lord of my first house was Rahu. I was born in Shatabisha nakshatra, which falls under Lord Rahu. So Lord Rahu's dasha, we start with Rahu's dasha, Rahu 18, and in cyclical order we follow Rahu, next comes Jupiter, next Saturn, then Mercury, followed by Ketu, like that. So that cycle we have to follow. If this is Rahu, my first house, second house is occupied by which one? Rahu, after Rahu, Jupiter. After Jupiter, Saturn. Third house, Saturn. Fourth house, Mercury. Fifth house, Ketu. Sixth house, Venus. Like that. That is the order. So, you know the Mahadashas. Each of these Mahadashas have the other dashas in a proportionate prorata basis. They have them repeating. These same Mahadashas repeat inside each Mahadasha. That is called the Antardasha. So the Antardasha is part of Mahadasha. So all the lords, Mahadashas, whatever we have for Mahadashas, same lords will continue in a prorata basis. They have Antardashas in each. Let us say Rahu has 18 years. So the Rahu Mahardasha will have all of the rest of the dashas, 9 dashas, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these 9 dashas again as Antardashas. So that is Antardasha. And there is one more thing that is basically pending that we need to discuss. Third aspect is Lagna at the time of birth will decide which Graha is occupying which house. So now the Lagna, there is a concept called Lagna, which will be changing every few hours. I don't know exactly how long it lasts, but there is a what do you call tool called Lagna. That Lagna changes all the time, and whichever Lagna you are born in decides. See, let us say, for example, I was born in Dhanur Lagna. Dhanur Lagna means the Sagittarius. So, which in the if this is Sagittarius, then we go on assigning the rashis to the other houses. So this is the first house. First house will be Sagittarius if I am born in Dhanur Lagna. And second house after Sagi, what do we have? We have Capri. So Capricorn will be the constellation of Capricorn will be associated, assigned to second. The third will be similarly Aquarius, fourth Aries, fifth Taurus, sixth what do you call it? Gemini, I think, right? Uh, yeah, and then we have Cancer. Then you have Leo. After Leo, you have Virgo. Virgo after Virgo, you have Libra. After Libra, you have I think we missed something here. This is the Nur Lagna Sagi, right? So before Sagi, we have this will be naturally, this one will be uh, before Sagi, what do we have? Scorpio. This will be Scorpio. So what I mean to say is you go on assigning the respective consecutive signs, or in Hindu we call them Rashis. That is why this is also called Rashi Phala. So Lagna gives you the order, how the constellations be placed in the which constellation be placed in which house. And apart from this, now we know the actual guys who impact the fate of this guy are grahas, planets basically. So these 9 planets, when you're born here, let us say in the Sagittarius constellation, whatever graha was there passing through that constellation, that will be assigned to that house, particular house. So similarly, let us say Saturn was in this is Saggy, so this will be Capri. So Saturn was in Capri, let us say, was moving through Capri. So Saturn will be assigned to this. So the grahas which belong which were passing through whichever constellation that at that particular time will be assigned those houses. So depending on the position of that juxtaposing rather or alignment of these planets, your fate depends on everything, depends on your basically Rashi Phala or whatever Phala, the basically the fate, the destiny depends on which graha is in which constellation, and not just that, how it is disposed. There is something called drishti. Drishti means, let us say, for me, Saturn was here when I was born. So Rahu was here, and the Saturn was here. So this Saturn guy has 2 aspects: benevolent aspect as well as malevolent. So this benevolent aspect is like he is smiling at some other. They say, I mean, I don't know why they call it smiling, but he smiles at certain planets. So with those planets, that will have a positive effect, whereas he slybros some other. He views in a very crooked manner, that sly manner, then that sly look will impact what do you call adversely. So that will have adverse effect. So so they not just the planets, their positioning and their viewing, the disposition, their disposition also has effect on the fate and the your uh, phala, Jyotisha phala. So, so far we have discussed the Indian astrology. I mean, beyond this, there are many charts. This is called the Lagna chart. But apart from Lagna chart, there are Navamsa chart or there are many charts. There are different types they used for different purposes. I'm not familiar with Indian astrology. And in fact, this is the first time I'm looking at chart, and I did some quick research just to explain. By the reason why I came up with this video is I know few people, especially in India, those who don't even go out in particular timings. In the sense, there's a called time called Varja. During that Varja time, nobody goes out, and there is a time called Rahu Kala, and people don't go out during the Rahu Kala, or they don't do anything. They don't start anything in the Rahu Kala. So people think when he bound them in this Saturn matrix, these grahas, these planets, basically bind them, the human soul, like we are the crucified Christ here. Human soul is the crucified Christ here. So they crucify the human soul, they keep it under tabs by using these planets and their movement. And that is why they call they married, the archons married fate or destiny. They came up with the idea of destiny, and they say once you are born in particular position, if you this if particular Saturn is your was Lada when you were born, and particular sun was in some particular position, moon was in particular position, then this is the fixed output. This is what will happen. That is destined to happen. That is your fate. Nobody can change that fate. That's what the common man, most of the people in India especially, believe this astrology. But then, to them, my answer is that holds good only till Saturn, because Sun till Sun, these four entities or archons, these four archons are quite capable of controlling till Saturn. But if you break this Saturn matrix, let us say this head comes out, the doesn't eat the tail anymore, meaning that the soul, basically the soul, it is eating all the souls that are when the people die, their souls rise. They tend to go to the join the source or monad where we came from. But instead, this snake gobbles that soul and sends it back for recycling. So, if this snake is not there in the sense, then as I told you in the previous video, how to break the vicious circle of life and death, by following certain good principles or following the good qualities of the God, the pleroma, if you adopt those qualities, then the snake will give up. There will be intense pressure on the snake. The human soul energy will exert force on the walls of these coils of the snake, and snake will eventually give up, and it will not eat this tail anymore. It will straighten out, and then that means you have come out of break free. You broke free from the coils of these planets, the matrix, this Saturn matrix. Once you break the Saturn matrix, somewhere here you will have Uranus, somewhere here you have Neptune, somewhere there you will have, here you will have Uranus, here you will have Neptune, of course, here you will have the fallen Sophia, fallen Sophia's end. At the end here you have the border, and you would have crossed the border if you enter here, that is heaven. So if anyone says you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you are born to do this, you are born to die here, you are born to achieve just particular thing and then die, you cannot break this destiny, your destiny. You cannot, what do you call, overcome the fate. Then my advice for them, my counter to them is that you can as well break this destiny, your fate. It is in your hands, basically, and especially, let us say, if someone is born here in the Rahu is the lord of the. I told you about Maha Dashas. So for me, Rahu was the lord of my Janma nakshatra. So with Rahu it will start, and it will go on like after Rahu, 18 years in Rahu, then followed by Jupiter, then Saturn, then Mercury, then Ketu, then Venus, then Sun, then Moon, and then Mars. That is, in fact, if you look for 120 years, that would have been my Mahadashas, transition between the Mahadashas. So if particularly if someone is born in Rahu Mahadasha or Ketu Mahadasha, Sun cannot. Sun is one of the 7 grahas. Of the 9 navagrahas, Sun is the as I told you in my previous video, as you can clearly see, it is evident from the shape of the what do you call, menorah, Jewish menorah, the candle stand, which will have 7 hands, one above others. That one is the Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael in the Jewish belief is Sun. So Sun can control only up to Saturn. If you are born in, let us say, Rahu above Saturn, you have Uranus and Neptune. So if you Uranus or Neptune are the lords when you were born for your Mahadasha, starting Mahadasha, then so there's something like that. The Mahadashas will proceed this way, right? And not exactly. So 9 Mahadashas follow the order I showed you here. This order they will follow. So if you're born in Rahu or Ketu, Sun is not enough to control you. Sun is enough to control only till Saturn. If you are born in Uranus or Neptune, then this guy, who is Betelgeuse guy, will have to involve, will have to come into picture to control Uranus and Neptune. So here Uranus and Neptune are also included in 216. So this Betelgeuse guy is required. He is not here all the time. As I told you in previous videos, he is the 10th planet. He is called the 10th planet. So that 10th planet came here in 1983, and it is still here for, I don't know for good or not, but it is here for sure. So this guy is needed to control the fate of the ones who are born in Rahu Mahadasha, Ketu Mahadasha. So if anyone says, once you are born, your fate is decided, your destiny is sealed, I don't agree. I would say, even with further evolution of man, we can as well even break this 216. 216 is 6 cube. So if you take this, what do you call, Pascal's triangle, after 6 cube, you have 7 cube, 8 cube. So a minimum of 7 cube. If you cross 6 cube with evolution, then sun cannot control you. And 7 cube is basically 343, which is far higher than the 216 guy. This 216 guy is 343. 7 cube is far higher than 216 guy. So the 216 guy cannot control those who are born with kind of the energy of Christ. No, 343, that is 7 cube, and not necessarily Christ. And even 216, 225, that is 15 square. If you are born with the Lord, the other, the actually that may not be possible. We have only 14 squares within 200. So 15th square cannot be take human form. So but if he can take human form, if you are born, he is also Lord of this, what do you call, chakra, Lord of this house, if he can be, then even just 15 square is enough to beat 216. That is, even Neptune, till Neptune, they cannot control till Neptune. If you are born any energy more than 216, that will happen. That is going to happen. That is exactly what the what do you call, the Pascal's triangle tells you. Pascal's triangle is known as the stairway to heaven. So we have come this far. We have spiraled. It's like a spiral. It goes like a spiral. You go on climbing this ladder, and right now we are here, near 6 cube. So in future we will evolve beyond 6 cube to 7 cube, 8 cube, 9 cube, 10 cube. Like so, when that happens, this fate or the destiny will be broken for sure. So don't, your fate is what you make of it. And I told you even before that we are quite capable of reaching the 14th level also. Man is designed, he is hardwired to reach 14th level also. Right now we are somewhere here, 6th level, 6 cube, 216. We are here, and in future, and some people are already here, and few people are here, but nobody is in the topmost level. But that's quite possible. You are hardwired to reach this level. So, if anybody says your fate is sealed, you have to come back. This you often see the infinity sign in most of the commercial ads. in one form or the other, that means that the fate is sealed. You cannot go to heaven. You have to come back. Whatever you do, you have to come back ultimately. That's what the infinity says. But I say there is lot beyond this particular infinity. This infinity is infinity for the people within these uh, levels, below sixth level. But for the seventh level guy, this is the zeroth level, right? Right. So it starts from here. So six becomes zero for him. For him, these are the higher levels. So never underestimate the capability of human being and resign to fate. It's become very common practice nowadays to consult astrologers and get depressed when he says, okay, this Shani is looking at you angrily, the Vakradrishti, with the Vakradrishti, he is looking at someone else. So this is not possible. You cannot make it. What you are aspiring for, you can never get it. Certain things they to tell you. Don't believe the astrologers. The astronomy is science. Astrology is always a pseudo. Uh, what do you call selfish pseudoscience perpetuated by selfish astrologers. It is their livelihood, of course. It is their bread and butter. So you cannot blame them, but you can definitely blame them for bringing down your morale. Okay, so don't believe in astrology, don't believe in superstition, and realize your uh, inner potential and reach the top, whatever position you want to reach, go for it. Okay, then it's getting very long, so I conclude it here. Thank you very much for watching the video. Let us meet some other time. Thank you.